everybody's talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro, and where there's smoke, there's definitely fire. So, let's take it for what it's worth. Although I do have to say, right now, this is just strictly rumor, and we have to take everything with a grain of salt until things are officially announced, because again, it just makes sense to do that. I would love to see a world where the PlayStation 5 Pro is announced sooner rather than later, as we get closer and closer into the future of announcements and things like that. I can't wait to see the games running on it. It's an exciting situation for sure, and I know you guys are all excited for it too. Maybe you're watching my channel for the first time or whatever. I do daily gaming content. I like to cover a lot of the rumors on the upcoming hardware and stuff, because we live in a world where a lot of developers, even small indie developers, are getting information on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and that stuff gets out there. That's how, like, back in the day, I was doing videos on Xbox One X. I was doing video when it was Scorpio. I was doing videos on PS4 Pro when it was Neo, right? Because I had gotten a hold of documents from small developers. I'm friends with some, so it's like, that kind of stuff happens. But this should be a very interesting video. What's going on, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with a video. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. If you guys could like the video, slap the hell out of that like button, and go ahead and subscribe. Share it out too. Tell your mom, your dad, your uncle, your cousin, whoever, that Crap Gamer Reviews is on his shit again. He's in his bag, so to speak. Anyway, so this is very interesting, that thing that we haven't heard before. It looks like the PS5 Pro might come equipped with 2 terabytes of storage, and will in fact run very quietly. And that's pretty much new news, considering everything that we've heard so far. We haven't really heard, like what the storage would be. If you guys remember, the regular PS5 launched with, I wouldn't say lackluster amount of storage, but it wasn't a full terabyte or whatever. And I get it, because at the time it was a solid state drive that was very much on the outer fringes of awesomeness, and not even PC gamers were using stuff like that at the time. So pretty cool to see that. And for me personally, I love to see like new tech and stuff like that comes out. It just goes to show that gamers are excited for the future, and that's good to know. Like, I love it when gamers are talking about like, hey, the future is looking bright, and we're all excited for that and things. It makes a lot of sense. And Sony, I think they have an idea of what they're trying to do, and I think they're doing a fairly good job of making sure that they have people excited about what's coming. And I think that's equally important, just as important as like the showcases and stuff. I know we would all wish that they had a showcase, but the fact is they don't, and it's kind of weird. But anyway, according to this insider, the as yet unannounced PS5 Pro will feature 2 terabytes of storage, as they have already seen the development kits for the new system. It should be noted that this doesn't mean the PS5 Pro will ship to retail with this much storage, but given the Xbox Series X Galaxy Black Edition will boast this amount of space, it is likely Sony will want to match it. Elsewhere, it's claimed that the PS5 Pro isn't going to be a noisy console and will run cool, so overheating won't be an issue. My question about the PS4 Pro is this, or PS5 Pro, excuse me. Is it going to be able to use the internal cards much like we do with the regular PS5 and the Slim, right? Because I have a 2 terabyte solid state drive expansion that I installed in mine. So if I get upgrade to a Pro, am I going to be able to keep that, or do I need something else? Hopefully they're smart about it, and let us all kind of be able to keep that and stuff. But anyway, the PS5 Pro has been rumored for well over probably 2 years now, and in the past few months have been subject to much speculation and leaks. In fact, it was recently reported that the console was the topic of conversation at Gamescom 2024. Now, of course, Sony has yet to actually officially announce the PS5 Pro, as I've already covered numerous videos. Why would they announce it in January or February when it's not going to come out till November, right? If you think about it, they're not going to do that because people wouldn't buy it otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, they would just wait, and that would cause a nosedive in like the regular PS5 sales, and they're not trying to do that. So yeah, it makes sense that they aren't going to do that. So It's hotly tipped for a November release date in 2024. And could feature advanced ray tracing elements seen in RDNA 4. And furthermore, it's also claimed that there will be an Ultra Boost mode to make older titles run better on the system. And Sony allegedly expects every game submitted to certification in August to be compatible with the PS5 Pro, including but not limited to Xbox exclusives or former Xbox exclusives. So any games you might see running on an Xbox would therefore then be that much better on the PS5 Pro, which, is an unfortunate situation. But, it is what it is at this particular point. I wouldn't expect Microsoft to really care about, long-suffering Xbox fans at this point, as we've all kind of noticed and seen, how this is kind of one of those interesting types of things where Microsoft is like, hey, let's go ahead and put our stuff on everything, like it just, to me, that never made sense, man. They already had so much, Minecraft, Call of Duty, like people literally didn't care about that stuff, Overwatch. You could have kept all that stuff, but like the reason you promised Xbox fans that you bought Bethesda is quite simply, honestly, you wanted us to be able to have exclusives where Game Pass is. Game Pass isn't the exclusive, by the way. Like, imagine a company promising you all this great stuff, right? And then they're like, well, really, our rental service is the exclusive. Like, get out of here with that stuff, just that never really makes sense to me. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. It's not a place of hate. It's just I buy my games and like to own my games, and Microsoft is kind of getting away from that. Like, who knows if their next console, if they have one, is going to even support physical media. But it's like they sell us on this whole idea of backwards compatibility and, forwards compatibility and all this stuff. And, then they start selling like digital only stuff. Like, if you bought hundreds and even thousands of physical games like me, and you see, okay, well, they're not going to support this stuff in the future, then, again, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what was the point of all that nonsense? I honestly do not see, how anybody could think otherwise at this particular point. I really, really would love to see Microsoft kind of step out and do something that really wins over fans. I hope so anyway. I hope so. But as it stands, the PS5 Pro looks like that thing's going to be a beast. It's going to add a boost mode to the games that are already out, which is what it should be. I mean, I think Sony is probably a little bit forward thinking in this now. Sort of like how Microsoft was, if you think about it, supporting VRR and like VSync and stuff like that with the Xbox One X, having the dev kits of Xbox One support 120 frames so that when we got a console that could do 120 frames on those games, that we could get that. And that's why there's so many games that support 120 frames on Xbox Series X as opposed to PS5, which, that's kind of few and far between. But, again, I think Sony has learned a lot from their mistakes, and, they continue to, even without, so many things happening for them in terms of being able to have like a big showcase or whatever, they're still kicking ass and taking names, because guess what? Microsoft can't get out of their own way, and that's just facts. Like, I would like to say, hey, that's not facts or whatever, but it is 100% facts. And again, we'll see how that works out for them long term, because Microsoft doesn't look like they're very much interested in actually competing right now. I hope that one day they get into competing and trying to actually do something to stave off Sony, because unfortunately Sony's going to be able to do whatever they want, charge whatever they want, and I think we need to do better than that as console fans, right? So again, let me know what you guys think, how you feel about this. Are you kind of feeling the way I feel about it, where you wish that Microsoft would be more competitive? How do you feel about the PS5 Pro? Are you just wanting them to, finally announce it and showcase it? Are you anticipating a boost mode and better ray tracing and steadier frame rates? Like, I don't think it's going to change the world, but, games that are struggling with lower resolutions to hit 60 frames, I fully expect that to be helped out tremendously, obviously. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to get one. Are you? Sound off in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.